This Indy Summer Cup's been a fast one. Through our preliminary session this morning, 16 new meet records. And I think we'll see some additional records in our final session this evening. All right, time now 6 o'clock. We're ready to go. First up is going to be the C final heat in women's 100 freestyle. Swimming in lane 1 for Southeastern Swim Club, Naomi Haynes. 2 for Dayton Raiders, Brooklyn Talley. Lane 3 for Cardinal Community, Anna Keene. 4 for Franklin Regional, Reagan Graves. 5 for Warwick, Indiana Tidal Wave, Addison Carlisle. 6 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Jordan Glassley. 7 for Munster Swim Club, Liliana King. And in lane 8 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Elizabeth Sears. Anna Keene from Cardinal turned first at the 50, 27:35, ahead of Liliana King from Munster in lane 7. Anna Keene, Cardinal Community. She's going to take the C final heat in a time of 57.65. Want to remind our swimmers competing in the championship final heats this evening that they need to report before their event over to parade staging so we can properly bring you out. Consolation final, women's 100 freestyle. Lane 1 for Zionsville Swim Club, Annabelle Swinney. 2 for Kentucky Aquatics, Madeline McLaughlin. 3 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Maris Williams. Lane 4 for Boilermaker Aquatics, Laura Phipps. 5 for Indiana Swim Club, Reese Tiltman. 6 for Kentucky Aquatics, Lauren West. 7 for Dayton Raiders, Michelle Dean. And in lane 8 for Boilermaker Aquatic, Hannah Hill. Reese Tiltman turned at the 50 out of lane 5, 27.70. Tiltman turned at the same time as Laura West, both 27.70 at the 50. Racing it down here to the finish in the consolation final. Tiltman with the edge, Indiana Swim Club, into the wall they come, and Tiltman touching first at a time of 57.13. Now bringing out our first championship final heat of the evening, that of the women's 100 freestyle. Swimming in lane 1 for Boilermaker Aquatics, Caitlin Hurley. 2 for Ohio State University, Rachel Buckruff. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Anna Poplowski. Lane 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Simone Manuel. 5 for Longhorn Aquatics, Reagan Smith. Lane 6, swimming on attached Kentucky, Summer Cardwell. 7 for Indiana Swim Club, Mackenzie Hodges. And in lane 8 for Indiana Swim Club, Christina Hagel. Championship final in women's 100 free. Very fast heat here in this championship final. 3 Olympians, Poplawski, Manuel, and Smith. Simone Manuel set a new meet record in this event this morning, a 53.80. At the 50, she was out in a 26.05. Manuel quicker than that this evening, 25.73. Second of the turn, Rachel Bachroth, Ohio State University, 26.52. Simone Manuel, she was the winner of the 50 free, second of the 200 free. And she looks to be, she's going to break her own meet record here from this morning. Simone Manuel, 53.28, breaking the record of a 53.80. Outstanding swim. That swim by Simone right there, that was the 10th quickest 100 freestyle swim in 2025. Consolation final, men's 100 freestyle. Lane 1 for Indiana Swim Club, Lucas Bagel. 2 for Dayton Raiders, Alexei Drachuk. 3 for Jaguar Aquatics, Abdiel Ortega. 4 for Indiana Swim Club, William McDonald. Lane 5 for Kentucky Aquatics, Alec Lampin. Lane 6 for Bodemakers, Matthew Rose. 7 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Hayden Lynham. And lane 8 for Fort Wayne, Logan Pazwinski. Drachuk out front, lane 2, 25.02. Second at the 50, William McDonald, Indiana Swim Club. In lane 4, William McDonald, Indiana Swim Club. Into the wall here in the C. Final touches at a time of 51.99. Ladies and gentlemen, we have an outstanding flight of men's 100 freestylers here, as the meet record when we started the day was a 50.67. 15 of the swimmers broke the meet record to get it where it's at. Christopher Giuliano, he'll be coming up in the championship final heat, 47.79. But amazing swim. Consolation final, men's 100 freestyle. Lane 1 for Indiana Swim Club, Owen McDonald. 2 for Indiana Swim Club, Miroslav Nedla. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Dylan Smiley. 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Baylor Nelson. 5 for Longhorn, Rex Maurer. 6 swimming unattached, Carson Foster. Lane 7 for Ohio State University, Daniel Baltus. And lane 8 for Indiana Swim Club, Raekwon Duell. 50 turn and Daniel Baltus from Ohio State. Out front, lane 7, 22.36. Ahead of Owen McDonald, Indiana Swim Club in lane 1 was a 24.07. Taylor Nelson with the edge here in lane 4. He's going to be competing on the university games for Team USA. And Baylor on the wall in a time of 49.85. Consolation final heat here, catching their breath, hopping out of the pool. And now we bring out the championship final heat in men's 100 freestyle. Here in lane 1 for Longhorn Aquatics, Shane Cassis. 2 for Longhorn Aquatics, Leon Marshaw. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Matthew King. Lane 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Christopher Giuliano. Lane 5 for Ohio State University, Ruslan Gezev. Lane 6 for Longhorn Aquatics, Luke Hobson. 7 for Longhorn Aquatics, Hubert Koss. And lane 8 for Ohio State University, Ahmed Ismail. Championship final here in men's 100 freestyle. Christopher Giuliano this morning set a new meet record of this preliminary swim, 47.79. Giuliano got first in the 200 free here and the 50 freestyle. Giuliano turning 22.56. Matthew King, Indiana Swim Club, second in lane 3 with a 50 split, 22.91. Giuliano powering into the wall, buries his head. He touches at a time of 47.72, lowering his mark of this morning. We have a new meet record in the men's 100 freestyle. Christopher Giuliano of Longhorn Aquatic. Giuliano's time, according to USA Swimming's Data Hub, 11th quickest so far in the world in 2025. And we now bring out our top-seeded heater, final heat to be swum here in this time final event, the men's 800 freestyle. Men's 800 free, swimming in lane 2. Greater Evansville, Jack Jones. 3 swimming unattached, Kentucky, Max Hatcher. 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, David Johnston. Lane 5 for Kentucky Aquatics, Levi Sandage. Lane 6 swimming unattached, Kentucky, Thomas Breed. And lane 7 for Kentucky Aquatics, Callie Gluck. Here we go, our final heat to be swum here in the men's 800 free. Meet record of the men's 800 freestyle, 8:18.79 by Jonathan Edwards, Ohio State University, at the 2022 Cup meet. David Johnston, Longhorn Aquatic here in lane 4. He was the winner of the 1500 free on Wednesday evening, was third in the 400 free. And Max Hatcher in lane 3, he was third in Wednesday's 1500 free event. Two lengths in and out in front, Levi Sandage, Kentucky Aquatic, 58.33, David Johnston. Longhorn Aquatic next to him in lane 4, turned at the 100, 58.58. Quickest time turned in swims earlier today was by Jaguar Aquatics Michael Esden at 8:42.86. Sandage still out front at the 200, 159.64. Johnson, 159.88. David Johnston, Longhorn in lane 4, now edging to the front, the 300 turn. Johnson, 3:00.65. Sandage, 3:01.04. Both of those swimmers quicker to this point, the 300-meter mark, than the swim turned in by Esden earlier today. Johnson starting to pick up the pace here over Sandage. At the 400, Johnston 4:00.81. The Sandage is 4:01.92. Johnston getting quicker on each 50. It was a 30.01. The last 50, the one before that, 30.15. Before that, 30.17. So he's slowly winding up the rubber band here. He's going to release it, sprint this thing out down to the finish. David Johnston at the 500 now, 5:00.79. Splits a 21.92 on that last 50. Sandage turned at a 5:02.87. Third in this heat currently, Cowie Gluck from Kentucky Aquatics, turned at the 500, 5:12.29. David Johnston here at the 600 turn, 601.19. Sandage, 604.94. Timer standing at the ready. David Johnston coming down there. There's the bell. 2 lengths left to go for David Johnston. Turns it a 701.99. There's Sandage now with 2 lengths left. 706.82. Gluck third in lane 7. 7:19.68. Another meet record in the works here. Current meet record, 8:18.79 by Jonathan Edwards in 2022. There's David Johnston from Longhorn Aquatics this evening. 8:01.34. New meet record in the Indy Swim Cup, Summer Cup, in the men's 800 freestyle. So that makes 3 meet records in our session this evening. New meet records so far in every event. C final in women's 200 backstroke. C final lane 1 for Warwick, Indiana, tidal wave Victoria Tibbs. 2 for Southeastern Swim Club, Isabel Schmidt, 3 for Dayton Raiders. Claudia Fernandez Deirdre, 4 for Fort Wayne Swim Team. Elizabeth Sears, lane 6 for Southeastern Swim Club. Kinsey Bogarts, 7 for Munster Swim Club. Haley Guzik, and lane 8 for Dayton Raiders. Audrey Havrilla. Elizabeth Sears, Fort Wayne Swim Team in lane 4. Turning at the 100, 109.34. Head of Kinsey Bogard, Southeastern Swim Club in lane 6. .150 turn, Elizabeth Steers still out front. Then it's Bogarts, third position. Haley Guzik, Munster Swim Club in lane 7. And your C final heat winner, Elizabeth Sears, Fort Wayne Swim Team, 222.83. Consolation final in women's 200 backstroke. Consolation final, lane 1, swimming unattached Kentucky, Camille Murray. 2 for Memphis Tiger Swimming, Hannah Carpenter. 3 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Caitlin Fetters. 4 for Ohio State University, Elise Narduzzi. 5 for Boilermaker Aquatic, Grace Ackerman. 6 for Kentucky Aquatics, Allie Frame. 7 for Warwick, Indiana Tidal Wave, Addison Carlisle. And lane 8 for Dayton Raiders, Michelle Dean. There's the turn at the end of the backstroke. 106.33 for Caitlin Fetters. Second position, Allie Frame. Kentucky Aquatics, 106.86. Third, Grace Ackerman, Boilermaker Aquatic in lane 5. Half a length to go here in the consolation final heat of the women's 200 backstroke. Caitlin Fetter's Fort Wayne swim team's been out front all the way on this one. She's got a very healthy lead. Bringing it down to the finish, and Caitlin Fetter's of Fort Wayne swim team, 2:17.63. Here comes the championship final heat in women's 200 backstroke. In lane one for Boilermaker Aquatics, Kelsey Cooper. Lane two, swimming on attached Kentucky, Summer Cardwell. Lane three for Indiana Swim Club, Miranda Grina. Lane four for Longhorn Aquatics, Reagan Smith. Lane five for Indiana Swim Club, Maya DeWitt. Lane six for Kentucky Aquatics, Elizabeth Grither. Lane seven for Indiana Swim Club, Mackenzie Hodges. And in lane eight for Boilermaker Aquatics, Abby Kiemeier. Your championship final now in women's 200 backstroke. Championship final women's 200 backstroke now in the water. Reagan Smith from Longhorn Aquatics set a new meet record in this event this morning. Her swim of a 2:09.77. Reagan placed first in both the 100 and 200 fly and 100 backstroke events here at the Indy Summer Cup, all in meet record time. And Reagan Smith, her performances this year, has the third quickest time in the world in this event. She did that at the Toyota Nationals just a few weeks ago here at the IU Natatorium. At the 100 this morning, Reagan was a 103.92. She turns tonight 101.62, so quicker than her pace of this morning. Second position, Maya DeWitt, Indiana Swim Club, 104.95. And a third position, Miranda Grina from Indiana Swim Club, lane 3, with a 100 split of a 106.48. Smith at the 150 this morning was a 137.19. And she turns now 134.34. She's setting it up to have a nice drop from her morning swim. Half the length to go for Reagan Smith. Let's make some noise to get her home. Again, her time going to be better than 2:09.77 on the wall tonight in a 2:06.84. 2:06.84. That is the 8th quickest time so far in the world 2025 in this event. C final, men's 200 backstroke. Lane 1 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Graydon Jones. Lane 2 for Munster Swim Club, Caden Spildy. 3 for Franklin Regional, David Barnett. 4 for Dayton Raiders, Alexi Drachuk. 5 for Boilermaker Aquatics, Anthony Korchnak. Lane 6 for Memphis Tigers, Anderson Smith. 7 for Franklin Regional, Elijah Hall. And lane 8 for Warwick, Indiana Tidal Wave, Garrett Klein. Here at the 100, David Barnett, Franklin Regional Swim Team, lane 3, 103.68. Had an Anthony Korchnak, Boilermaker Aquatic in lane 5. Turned at the 100 in a 103.85. Anthony Korchnak, Boilermaker Aquatic in lane 5, half a body length lead over Drachuk from Dayton Raiders in lane 4. And Anthony Korchnak with a time here in the C final, 2:11.02. Consolation final in men's 200 backstroke. Lane 1, Fort Wayne Swim Team, Jackson Pyle. 2 for Indiana Swim Club, Raekwon Noel. 3 for Ohio State University, Joseph Roth. 4 for Swimming Unattached Kentucky, James Collins. Lane 5 for Swimming Unattached Kentucky, Owen Stevens. 6 for Boilermaker Aquatics, Dylan Burrow. 7 for Indiana Swim Club, William McDonald. And lane 8 for Jaguar Aquatics, Grayson Tidwell. Joseph Roth, Ohio State University, turned lane 3 at the 50, 28.97 ahead of Raekwon Noel. Indiana Swim Club in lane 2, 29.18. Ross still leads at 100, 1:00.76. Noel still second at a 1:00.83. Third at the 100, Owen Stevens, unattached Kentucky, 10093. Raekwon Noel, Indiana Swim Club, lane 2 with the edge coming into the finish here. Reaches for the wall, and Noel for Indiana Swim Club, 204.22 in the consolation final heat. Here we go, bringing out the championship final heat in men's 200 backstroke. Swimming in lane 1 for Longhorn Aquatics, Baylor Nelson. 2 for Longhorn, Rex Mauer. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Kai Van Westering. Lane 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Leon Marchand. 5 for Longhorn Aquatics, Hubert Koss. Lane 6, swimming unattached, Carson Foster. Lane 7 for Ohio State, Christoph Gorski. And lane 8 for Indiana Swim Club, David Kovacs. Here is your championship final heat in the men's 200 backstroke. New meet record in this event this morning, swum by Leon Marchand, Longhorn Aquatics here in lane 4. You got Kai Van Westering. He was third in the 100 backstroke event. The record split this morning, 58-27. Hubert Koss way ahead of that. So's Marchand, but Koss's time at the 100, 56-62. Marchand second at the 100, 56-93. And Kai Van Westering at the 100, third at a 58.17. .150 turn. Koss out front of lane 5. 126.82. Marchand still second. Van Westering still third here in the championship final heat of men's 200 backstroke. Less than half the length to go. Hubert Koss with the edge, but Carson Foster now. Hubert Koss out in front. Lane 5. Into the wall he comes. He plants in the new meet record time, 156.74. Here it costs the Longhorn Aquatics. Meet records are stacking up. We love it. Now bringing out the swimmers competing as part of tonight's final session in the women's 1500 freestyle. In lane one for Fort Wayne swim team, Liliana Hollinsworth. 2 for Dayton Raiders, Brooklyn Talley. 3 for Terre Haute Torpedoes, Claire Parsons. Lane 4 for Boilermaker Aquatics, Adele Sands. Lane 5 for Boilermaker, Reagan Mattice. Lane 6 for Dayton Raiders, Matilda Pisler. 7 for Dayton Raiders, Ruth Connolly. And lane 8 for Terre Haute Torpedoes, Tina O'Rourke. These are your competitors in the final heat of the women's 1500 freestyle. Meet record of the women's 1500 freestyle, 16:39.94, swum by Maya Geringer of Ohio State University at the 2022 Cup meet. Quickest time turned in from swims earlier today in the women's 1500 freestyle, Kentucky Aquatics. Caitlin Jost, the time is 17:36.33. Claire Parsons here in lane 3. She placed 4th in the 800 free on Wednesday evening. Adele Sands here in lane 4. She placed 3rd in the 800 free. In lane 5, Reagan Mattice. She placed 2nd in the 800 freestyle event. Mattice turning at the 100, 104.04 ahead of Sands, 104.22. Reagan Mattice a little quicker turnover than Sands. Mattice turns at the 200, 2:11.63. Sands 2:11.85. Claire Parsons, Terre Haute Torpedoes, 3rd in lane 3. Turning at the 200 in a 2:15.25. 300-meter mark. Matthijs turns 3:19.38, Sands 3:19.59. Matthijs and Sands going at it here at the 400 turn, just about stroke for stroke. Matthijs still with a slight edge, 4:27.45. Sands 4:27.82. Claire Parsons still in lane 3 at a 4:35.26. And fourth, Matilda Prisler, Dayton Readers in lane 6, turning at the 400, 4:39.68. .500-meter mark, Reagan Matthijs turns in a 5:35.26, starting to pull away from Adele Sands, turned at the 500, 5:36.42. Both Matthijs and Sands quicker at this point in the race than Caitlin Jost was. .600 turn for Reagan Matthijs, 6:43.19, Sands 6:45.18. .700 turn for Matthijs, 7:50.87. Sands, 7:53.79. Matthijs is picking up the pace. That last 50, 33.83, 33.85 prior to that, 34.02 before that one. 800 split for Matthijs, 858.88. Sands, 902.26. .900 turn for Regan Matthijs, 10:06.83. Sands, 10:10.47. Thousand-meter turn for Regan Matthijs, 11:14.37. .1100 turn for Regan Matthijs, 12:22.72. Sands, 12:27.68. At 1,200 meters, Matthijs, 13:30.96. Sands, 13:36.56. 1,300 meter mark, and Mattice turns in a 14:39.04. Adele Sands, 14:45.74. Reagan Mattice has been keeping her 50 splits below 34-point area, where Adele Sands, she's been 34-point mid. 2 lengths left now for Reagan Mattice. She turns the 1,400 meter mark, 15:47.47. Adele Sands, 15:54.83. Reagan Mattice brings it into the wall. Time 16:54.31. Adele Sands finishes off her swim, 17:03.94. Claire Parsons bringing it in lane 3 for Terre Haute Torpedoes. Parsons, 17:29.39. Matilda Prisler, Dayton Raiders, 17:56.65. Touching 4th in this heat. Brooklyn Talley over in lane 2 for Dayton Raiders. She's bringing it in. Talley touches in an 18:13.09. Three swimmers still out on the course here. Ruth Conley in lane 7, Tatum O'Rourke in lane 8, and Liliana Hollinsworth over in lane 1. Ruth Conley, Dayton Raiders here in lane 7. Conley, 1938-35. Tatum O'Rourke, Terre Haute Torpedoes, lane 8, 1941-15. And Hollingsworth finishes it off over in lane 1, 1949.02. Here's the C final in women's 200 IM. Lane 1 for Munster Swim Club, Liliana King. 2 for Munster, Mia Turfler. In 3 for Franklin Regional, Reagan Graves. 4 for Memphis Tiger Swimming, Hannah Carpenter. 5 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, McCartney Mailer. 6 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Maris Williams. Lane 7 for Franklin Regional, Emma Small. And lane 8 for Dayton Raiders, Ileana McClure. Liliana King out front, lane 1, turns at the 100, 106.31, ahead of Reagan Graves. Lane 3 at a 107.61. Typically see some change of position here on the breaststroke. And we do here too. Hannah Carpenter, Memphis Tigers Swimming at the 150, 152.21. Liliana King, second at the 150, 152.23. Mia Turfler, Munster Swim Club, 152.62. King coming back on Carpenter on the freestyle. Liliana King with the edge coming into the wall. And Liliana King from Munster Swim Club takes the C final heat in a time of 2:25.64. Consolation final in the women's 200 IM. Lane 1 for Dayton Raiders, Michelle Dean. 2 for Indiana Swim Club, Miranda Grena. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Catherine Forrester. 4 for Kentucky Aquatics, Billy Sherrod. 5 for Illini Swim Club, Chloe Diner. 6 swimming unattached, Kentucky, Caitlin Salos. 7 for Ohio State University, Danica Varda. And in lane 8 for Fort Wayne swim team, Jordan Glussley. Grena and Forster tied at the 50 as they turned into 29.21 together. Third position, Sallows at the 50 at a 29.46. Miranda Grena, Indiana Swim Club, lane 2, edges ahead on the backstroke. Makes the turn at the 100, 104.27. Catherine Forster in lane 3, second, 104.93. Billy Surratt, Kentucky Aquatics, third at the 100, in lane 4 to 105.36. Caitlin Sallows at the 150, 147.86. Ahead of Surratt in lane 4, 147.99. Digging for the win here in the consolation final heat, less than half a length to go. Billy Surratt, Kentucky Aquatics in 4. Chloe Diner, Illini Swim Club in lane 5. It's going to be Billy Surratt at a time of 2:19.91. Here's the parade out of the championship final heat in women's 200 IM. Swimming in lane 1 for Kentucky Aquatics, Hayden Penny. 2 for Ohio State University, Paige Delma. 3 swimming on the Chats, Kentucky, Fernanda Celedonio. 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Reagan Smith. 5 for Indiana Swim Club, Anna Poplowski. 6 for Indiana Swim Club, Reese Tillman. 7 for Kentucky Aquatics, Madison Hartley. And lane 8 for Mooresville, area swim team, it's Lila Theriak. This is your championship final heat in women's 200 IM. Two Olympians in this heat, Reagan Smith in lane 4, Anna Poplowski lane 5. Reagan Smith this morning with a preliminary swim, 2:14.96, just off of the meet record, 2:14.39 by Mackenzie Luce of Indiana Swim Club 2022. At the 25, Reagan Smith, 27.78. She was out at a 29.00 and just missed the meet record mark, so she's got the wick turned up tonight. Reagan Smith, she was first in the 100 and 200 fly, 100 backstroke as well, setting new records in each. Reagan Smith at the 100 this morning, 102.24. Turns to the 59.49, and that's ahead of record pace. Anna Poplawski second, lane 5, 103.26 in third. Fernanda Solidario, unattached Kentucky, 104.91. Smith at the 150, 142.77 this morning. Makes the 150 turn. She's on her way home. Turned to the 139.93. Second at the 150. Fernanda, 145.02. Poplawski, lane 5, 145.29. We're going to have a new meet record in the women's 200 IM. Reagan Smith from Longhorn Aquatics. The record time, 2:10.35. Reagan's time in this heat, the 14th quickest in the world so far in 2025. Now the C final in men's 200 IM. Lane 1 for Bodebecker Aquatic, Anthony Korchnak. 2 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Hayden Lynham. 3 for Franklin Regional, Lucas Ackerman. 4 for Indiana Swim Club, David Kovacs. Lane 5 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Josiah Collins. 6 for Fort Wayne, Logan Pazwinski. Lane 7 for Memphis Tigers, Coleman Kimmel. And in lane 8 for Fort Wayne Swim Team, Jackson Morris. David Kovacs, Indiana Swim Club, setting up his 100 turn. There it is, 58.29. Second position, Anthony Korchak for Bodebecker over in lane 1, 101.63. Ackerman, third in lane 3 at a 101.70. End of the breaststroke, making the final turn down there at the 150. David Kovacs, 135.53. Ackerman, second at the 150, 138.37. And David Kovacs, 206.54. Here's the consolation final in men's 200 IM. Lane 1 for Longhorn Aquatics, Shane Cassis. 2 for Longhorn, Nathaniel German-Prez. 3 for Indiana Swim Club, Jason Yep. 4 swimming unattached, Carson Foster. Lane 5 for Boilermaker Aquatic, Mateos. 6 swimming unattached, Kentucky, Thomas Breed. 7 for Indiana Swim Club, Miroslav Nedla. And lane 8 swimming unattached, Kentucky, Owen Stevens. Shane Cassis was leading the way at the 25 ahead of German-Prez, but here on the backstroke, German-Prez with the edge. Now Cassis comes up as they get ready to set up their 100 turn. Cassis out in front, 55.64. German-Prez, 55.83. And third, Carson Foster, also a Longhorn, in lane 4, 55.91 at the 100. Carson Foster was second in the 200 fly and the 400 free. On the way back home, Shane Cassis turning at the 150, 130.58. Ahead of Foster, 131.48. At the Toyota Nationals a few weeks ago here in Indianapolis, Carson Foster in this event posted the second quickest time in the world, 2025. But Shane Cassis is going to take the consolation final this evening and wrap that up in a time of 1:59.57. And that is a new meet record in the men's 200 IM, 1:59.57 by Shane Cassis. Our last championship final coming out now, the men's 200 IM. In lane 1 for Kentucky Aquatics, Levi Sandage. Lane 2, swimming unattached, Kentucky, Jackson Millard. 3 for Longhorn Aquatics, Herbert Koss. Lane 4 for Longhorn Aquatics, Leon Marchand. Lane 5 for Longhorn Aquatics, Rex Mauer. 6 for Indiana Swim Club, Owen McDonald. 7 for Longhorn Aquatics, Baylor Nelson. And in lane 8 for Indiana Swim Club, Andrew Reeder. This is your championship final in the men's 200 IM. Let them hear you. All right, another great heat here. Koss and Marchand, Olympians. Herbert Koss with the 4th quickest time in the world in the men's 200 IM. And Koss is out front, 25-26. Leon Marchand, 25.52. Oh, this is shaping up to be a good one. Leon Marchand now out in front at the 100, 54.81. Hubert Koss second, 55.05. Into the breaststroke they go. Rex Maurer third. He was 56.62 at the 100. Maurer was the winner of the 400 IM and the 400 free, both in meet record-setting times here at the Summer Cup. You'd expect Marchand to take off here on the breaststroke, and he does. Turns at the 150, 128.71. Hubert Koss, 130.28. Third at the 150, Baylor Nelson of Longhorn, 132.64. Half a length to go for Leon Marchand. The record, Shane Cassis's record, about to go down. It was a 159.57, and Leon Marchand, a new meet record in the men's 200 IM at a 157.23 to close us out. Great job, swimmers and coaches. We'll have some team scores coming up in just a few moments. The main competition pool is open for cool down if you just want to stay in this pool. And with Marchand's record swim there, that makes a total of 23 new meet records swum over the course of the 2025 Indy Summer Cup. Outstanding job. All right, here are the top 5 team scores for women, men, and combined. In women's team scoring, in 5th place, Ohio State University with 95 points. 4th place, Kentucky Aquatics with 273 points. 3rd place, Boilermaker Aquatics with 279 points. 2nd place, Longhorn Aquatics with 288 points. And your women's team score champion, Indiana Swim Club with 468 points. In men's team scoring, in 5th place, Fort Wayne Swim Team with 58 points. 4th place, Kentucky Aquatics with 98 points. 3rd place, Ohio State University with 182 points. 2nd place, Indiana Swim Club with 513. And the men's team champions, Longhorn Aquatics with 650 points. In combined team scoring, your top 5. 5th place, Ohio State University with 277. 4th place, Boilermaker Aquatics with 330.5 points. 3rd place, Kentucky Aquatics with 371 points. 2nd place, Longhorn Aquatics with 938. And your combined team champions for the 2025 Indy Summer Cup meet, Indiana Swim Club with 981 points. Swimmers and coaches, it's been a pleasure having you here at the IU Natatorium for our Indy Summer Cup. All great swimmers come to Indy and come to the natatorium. So safe travels heading back home, and we'll see you back here next time, next major competition at the IU Natatorium.